everyone. Welcome back to the 5th episode of Campus Confessional. Your source, your place to be, your favorite new podcast for real stories about real students here in Groningen, in the Netherlands, at the Hanze, at the Rug. Wherever you may be, this is the place to be.
Wow, that was really good.
That was
really
very
good.
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Kevin. I'm your host, together with...
Sasha.
And Talassa.
What?
Grab a snack and a drink and we'll get started.
Yes.
Because I'm going to do the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just get right into it. Why not? I hope everybody's doing okay. The first one. I feel like I'm always the one reaching out to make plans with my friends, but they never seem to initiate anything. Do I keep trying or do I stop putting in the effort for this friendship?
Boy, do I relate to this? Oh my God.
Tell us.
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah, go.
Spill the tea.
I feel like we spoke about this lightly in like last week's episode. Not last week, I mean the week before that, like episode 4.
The previous
Yeah, the
episode.
previous episode, exactly. But it's like we release it every 2 weeks. That's what I'm trying to say. No,
Okay.
cut that out.
No,
cut that out.
Talassa.
You can't out us like that. Production's gonna cut that out.
No, don't
Okay.
keep it in. Be real.
No.
No.
Okay.
We have to be a bit mysterious. What are you doing?
Exactly. Okay.
Be a bit mysterious.
Yeah.
Everybody will know.
You're cutting everything out. I'm gonna start speaking now. Okay, so I do definitely relate to this a lot because I've had a lot of different like friend groups where, as I've mentioned before, like I put in a lot of effort and like I'm always the one, to make plans to like, hey guys, let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach. Sorry.
Okay.
Like to go
What
out.
to say?
And
drink.
if your friends are not putting in like that same effort, if they're not like asking you to go out, if you're always the one making plans,
Yeah.
it could just be that that's how the dynamic of your friendship works, and then that's just how it is. But if you're realizing that they're just not even putting any effort in to see you at all, then you have bad friends.
But what kind of dynamic is that where somebody just goes all in and then the others are like just going with the flow?
Some people are like that.
You can also think about do they really like you? Like, is this a friendship that they value as much as you value the friendship? Because if someone doesn't
Make
if
the
they wanted
effort?
to, they would.
Yeah,
that's
I agree with
not
that.
just
So
in
I don't think-
relationships. That's also
I
in
don't think it's
friendships.
about the dynamic. It's
Yeah, that's
probably
the
they
best.
just don't like you. I'm sorry. It's a bit harsh, but
Yeah, that's one of the
That's
best
the
quotes
truth.
ever, by the way. You're very right, Sasha. But what you were
Yeah.
saying, that's one of the
If
best quotes. Like, if they wanted to, they would. It's like,
yeah.
if you're the only one putting an effort to like see the person, like what Sasha was saying, like if they don't want to see you, they probably don't really like you, which is like
Yeah.
really messed
Yeah.
up. And you
Sucks.
deserve so much better. So you should find people that want to
Match
see
your
you.
energy.
Exactly,
Yeah.
match your energy.
yeah.
And also, I feel like if this person, like, I don't know how old this person is, like, well, I'm assuming listening to this podcast, you should at least be
At least,
16 plus
yeah.
because PG, since Sasha and Talas keep cursing.
Stop, you curse too.
Stop.
But like if you're still if you're an adult, if you're like above 18, if you're in your 20s, whatever, and you're still friends with someone who is like not necessarily like a teenager in like literal age, but like is still acting like a teenager, so like careless and like
Cut them off.
exactly cut them off. Like that energy, it's not good.
No.
It's no bueno. It's no
No
bueno.
person above the age of 20 has business acting like a teenager.
Yep.
And yeah, I really stand behind. If they wanted to, they would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's the
sometimes
easiest way
it's
to
hard to hear that and be like, but when we're together, it's so nice, it's so fun.
And the thing is about that quote, like if they wanted to, they would. Some people just like hear it, listen to it, and they're like, oh, whatever. But like you really need to
think
like
about it.
think about it because I've had situations with friends, which I'm still friends with these people, but I realize that they do not put in that same like energy in like trying to make plans, which is totally fine if that's like how our dynamic is, I guess. Maybe they don't like me, it could be that, but it also just could be like, yeah, maybe we're not like this.
Yeah.
So, it's fine.
Maybe we're not compatible on that.
Yeah, maybe we won't see each other all the time. We'll see each other every now and then, catch up, fun, but that's just how it is. Like, it's more of
Yeah.
a casual
Like
friendship.
acquaintances, not
Exactly.
friends, really.
So, this person should, define better what you consider friends because...
We also bring it up as well.
Yes, communication.
Yeah.
Also, communicate
Communication
first.
is key.
And if nothing changes,
Don't cut them out
then
immediately.
exactly. But then you have to think to
Because
yourself,
maybe
like,
maybe they didn't realize. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Although
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, bring it up
maybe
at least once.
maybe someone is going through something, like you never know. So bring it up, communicate. Nothing changes. If they wanted to, they would.
Perfect.
Done.
Done. Sasha, go ahead.
Yeah. So the next one. I'm trying to build my LinkedIn profile, but I have almost no experience to put on it. Should I focus on skills I've developed in school? Oops. Or just wait until I have more relevant experience to share? What do I even put on there? So I'm gonna take a step back and let you guys
I
respond
struggle with this as well. Actually,
yeah, Kevin, that's for you because my LinkedIn is kind of.
Like,
So.
Whoa, oh my God! Not
whispering doesn't make it.
Well,
why are you guys pointing to me? Not that I don't appreciate it. I love the support.
I
Thank
called
you.
Kevin a week ago, I think, when
Yeah.
I was in Brussels and I was at a cafe and I was like, oh, I want to work on like my
Which is
LinkedIn.
so iconic, by the way. You're just casually in Brussels at a cafe and you're like, I'm going to work on my LinkedIn today.
I love that. It was very nice. And I called Kevin because I was like, it gave me, suddenly I felt like, anxious or something. I was like, because I did primary teaching before and you don't need a LinkedIn profile for that. So I never used it. And now I was like, okay, like, where do I even start? You know, what do I put on here? And with the podcast and stuff, I remember I called Kevin or I texted you. I was like, hey, like, where do I start? Like,
Yeah.
And then Kevin was super nice and he like,
Aww.
just like post the first thing, like post, yeah, you give your advice. Tell them what you told me.
yeah,
And
because
it
your
was,
LinkedIn looks really nice.
and it was very helpful for me. And I hope Kevin can be helpful for you.
Thank you so much. I definitely think with your LinkedIn, and the only reason like I feel a slight ability to like say this with like knowing that it's like factual information and helpful information is because in my previous school we did like get a little small course in how to build your LinkedIn profile.
Really? That
And-
actually
good.
sounds
Yeah,
really helpful.
Exactly. They slightly did it in our skills class.
Yeah,
but
I remember, but not really.
Not
No,
really.
they just sold us to,
write a description.
yeah, but like, if you don't have one, make one, connect with people at
Yeah, it wasn't
school, but
really
that's, like,
entirely helpful, which is something we maybe can bring up honestly. And this is what the show is also for, is to like
Yeah.
realize that this is something that students are struggling with, is like building their
Yeah.
LinkedIn profile. For our project last block, we needed to like connect with people on LinkedIn, which was so weird, like connecting with random people.
yeah.
But let me get to my point. So something that helped me a lot is honestly going to like the CEO of like the Marriott or literally the owner of the LinkedIn itself. Like check out their LinkedIn profile for inspiration because they know exactly how to do a professional like layout of your educational and professional career. LinkedIn is definitely not social media. You shouldn't be like posting too many like fun stuff. Also the way you write and like just you want to keep it short and sweet. I am not the biggest fan of doing like a full introduction on your LinkedIn page. Everyone is different. Some companies really do appreciate that, but it also depends what career you're in. Like if you're, for example, a doctor, you
Yeah,
don't
but they
have,
say they don't have experience. That's what they're struggling with. The fact that they don't have anything.
no, but you can't put like what you did. For example, Sasha, for example, you've done a lot of what do you call it? I forgot.
Volunteering.
Volunteering.
Volunteering,
Yeah.
exactly. I was like gonna say internships, but no, I meant
I
you've
did
done-
an internship though.
Oh, cool. Well, for example,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
in
you
there.
can already put that. Exactly,
Yeah.
perfect. You really have to put something that shows the effort you've put into like a company or an organization or a
Yeah.
company. Because-
Projects for school, like if you did like a really good project for school that has
Especially this, like for us, this blog we have to organize an event. So if that went really well,
Yeah.
that could go in there.
post stuff like that on your LinkedIn
something
as
that
well.
you're like proud of and something that you've put a lot of effort in and something that is like valued by a company or a school or an organization
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
definitely something you can put in your LinkedIn profile because it'll like a hiring person from a company from HR is going to look at it and be like, hey, wow, this person has done this and this. They may not have that much experience in jobs, but they did do this and this, which is
Yeah.
also very valuable.
It's still experience.
Yeah. And also something that you can really look nowadays is go on TikTok, girl. Like go on TikTok to find inspiration.
Yeah.
Because even yesterday you were like looking for like a good cover page for your LinkedIn, right? Like
I am.
some things are professional, some things are not. You do want to keep it very
Yeah.
like for example my Instagram is very fun and like travel
Yeah.
and like cute pictures, but like my LinkedIn is very like professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
serious.
that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Also,
Exactly. It's like a
ask
different
ChatGPT.
yeah.
You can
Chat
do
with Chat
that.
Chat will always help.
We'll always have chatting.
We'll always
Exactly.
have Chat
So
with
yeah,
Chat Chat. She
go on
will,
So-
TikTok, go on ChatGPT, on also
she will have your back.
Yeah.
exactly find other people for inspiration. Go to like a person like a CEO that you really look up to and look
Yeah.
at their LinkedIn. And
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
Do
one.
that
I'll
one.
use
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next one.
Also,
Go ahead.
I noticed that, for example, Sasha has like, her real name is not Sasha, so spoiler.
Yeah,
And
spoiler alert, guys.
So when people look her up, they look up Sasha, but you won't find her because.
That's not your government name.
And we have
Yeah,
that
it's not my government
with
name.
with the podcast as well, like a miscommunication because people think she's Sasha and then
Yeah.
they put Sasha there.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
Nobody calls me by my government
Make
name.
sure that.
Do you want to give a little explanation of that? Why you don't have to give your government
Yeah,
name,
but it's
like
so
why?
confusing though. So my middle name is Alexandra, and Sasha is like a nickname from Alexandra. It's like a Russian thing. I'm not Russian. I don't know.
Very
Bring it up with my
specific. She's not
parents.
Russian.
Yeah. Yeah, because some people do get
But
Romania
I find it very
confused with-
interesting because it's like Alexandra, but then it like shortens to Sasha, and it's like pretty cool. It's like wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
also
like it. It's nice.
neutral. It's unisex.
Yeah.
You're also gonna find boys named Sasha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well,
so make sure you have things like that because now for you, it's like a thing.
Yeah, when
Or like,
I'm
yeah.
in a professional setting, I don't use Sasha because
Yeah.
people are not gonna be able to find me as Sasha anywhere but my Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, last tip that I can give for LinkedIn is literally connect with everyone.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
struggle with that. I'm not like.
I'm just like,
really.
Just
yeah,
go.
exactly.
Well, okay. Let me be. Okay, I may have said that a little wrong. You don't want to connect with like some random person from
No, but
Australia,
it's like
but
from
like
Hanze, like
I've
you
connected
have,
with
yeah,
so many people that go to Hansa,
Yeah,
even
me
if they're
too.
studying engineering.
yeah,
I
And
just
you
connect
don't
with
know them, you connect with them.
Yeah.
yeah. You just,
Oh, I struggle with that.
Because like
But I don't know them.
it doesn't matter.
That doesn't
That's how
matter.
networking works.
exactly
That's
because
true,
you
but I
will
also-
never know if
I also
we're-
have that with my socials. Like if I don't know you, like
yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
You'll never know if like somebody you meet on LinkedIn or meet in person will eventually be able to help you in your career.
Exactly.
That's
that
how you
is
have to think.
true.
so just push that connect button.
Okay, let's move on, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
please.
hope I wish you the best of luck with your little LinkedIn
Yeah.
profile. Connect
hope
with
we
me,
helped.
Kevin Illis.
Talasa Wassenaar.
Ioana Burgila. I
job.
actually had to remember because
Have fun spelling that out because I can't.
yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
find me in their friends. Or
Perfect.
something, connections.
Connections.
Okay,
Talasa,
the-
Kevin, and Ioana.
Yeah.
The next little question is, and this one's a little bit more of a different vibe than LinkedIn, is I know the Netherlands is supposed to be really open, but I'm not so sure if I actually feel included as an international student. Ooh.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, someone.
I feel like
Yeah.
I think Dutch students do have like I think I've said this before, like an opinion about international students.
Definitely.
So, which is ridiculous. Yeah, which is ridiculous because what the flip. So I think that feeling is very valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely like also understand why this person is emphasizing the fact that the Netherlands is supposed to be really open. In case you guys didn't know, the Netherlands was the first country to legalize same-sex marriage in
I did know.
I don't know in what year it was,
Early
but
2000.
yeah,
Well,
maybe 2008. I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure.
Yeah.
We don't know our
Point being,
history
so
that
that's why
well.
the Netherlands is known for being very open towards everyone. It's also a lot of people from different countries all over Europe and like in the Middle East and anywhere, like they come to the Netherlands because they feel as if Netherlands is very safe and open space for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that it is, but
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect, and
No.
also like the Netherlands has changed a lot over the past few years, and it also is because of
there's like
The
a
right
shift.
party
Yeah,
to
it's
the
a
right
political
party.
shift everywhere in the world right now, not just the Netherlands, towards the right. You've seen that, I don't know, in the German elections, maybe now in the US. There's also like a bit of struggles in Romania too. So it's like,
yeah. So the Netherlands is still very open, but I will tell you, like, obviously I do understand why this person feels a little.
It feels like we're going back in time a little
Yeah, I
it
feel like
does. It's
it
so
does.
dystopian.
I
bit. Yeah,
know.
weird.
So
Yeah.
like, I feel like the Netherlands still includes a lot of international students, but it's like there are just some people, like, I wouldn't say Netherlands as a whole, because like I feel like the Netherlands as a whole is a very beautiful and very open and amazing
Yeah.
country, and majority of the people are super super nice. And I will have to take it up from my own culture because I am half Dutch, so I will have to say that.
Well, I do. I do agree.
But even my own beautiful mother, who's also Dutch, has said like, hey, there are some Dutch people, which I will not talk bad about it, but I will just say they're still very traditional and
not
like
very
have
open-minded, but
very like old mindset. Which honestly, the one thing I do have to say, because I don't want to make it seem as if I'm like telling them, oh, they're horrible people, but it's just like that's honestly the way that they were raised. And if you were like born in like a farm somewhere in a town in the Netherlands and were not aware of like all the changes of like the modern world, how are these people expected to have like an open mindset if they never had the opportunity
But you're
to have
talking
that?
about the older generation. Yeah.
But I feel like they were talking about the younger.
But that older generation is the one that like
is voting for
that old generation is like the one upbringing the younger generation. That's their parents, that's their grandmas and stuff. So that's how they get the majority influence.
Yeah, but I do think that, for example, my mom grew up in a very small town, and she, since I was young, like growing up, always like taught me the right like.
Yeah, your mom was progressive.
My mom always like told me how to treat people and how things were like supposed to, you know, be done. And she was from a very small town, and like
yeah, it's the same with my parents. I'm from a very small town in Romania. So
I think it also depends, like if, like for example, if you grow up in a household where it's not that way and everybody's, for example, very right.
Yeah.
You still go to high school or to like a primary, and people have different opinions.
Exactly.
You will learn about that.
It comes down a lot to education.
Definitely.
So
just to like be clear on what I wanted to say, because I don't want to obviously have the people listening to like get a wrong idea of what I was trying to say. But the example that I gave about like my mom telling me like, oh yeah, even though the Netherlands as a whole is a very accepting country, but like in every single country you're gonna have people that are just a little different. Of course. And I'm not gonna like talk about those people because it's just like that's just the way they are, and like I don't have anything to say against that.
The way it's supposed to go. Not everybody's supposed to be left
in
a country or right. It's supposed to have
like the world will not function properly if everyone.
No.
Also, I don't fully agree with like being too open, because it also allows people to be like a little too comfortable thinking that everything is okay and everything is accepted.
That is true. There has to be like a bit of a balance.
There has to be a little bit of balance, and I think that's the one thing that those people that are a bit more conservative and a bit more traditional, which I will give them their respect for that, is they are trying to give that balance. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Everybody should have their own opinion.
Yeah, but if you don't feel included as an international student, which is the question that we had,
oops,
off topic, but yeah, you should just be, you know.
Okay.
What?
Background noises. I don't know how to conclude this. Like, the Netherlands is still very open. I mean, look, Sasha's from Romania. You came all the way to Groningen of all places, which we love to have you here.
Look at that. I'm friends with 2 Dutch people, so.
Exactly.
Dutch people are nice.
So, yeah, definitely you will still feel included. You just have to find your people. If, like, the first few people you met are not the type you match with, it might not be the fact that they're Dutch. It might just be that they're just not nice people.
Also, keep in mind...
Or you're different.
Cultural differences. So, that might also play a role. A big one.
And something a lot of people also have to understand is that this is something I myself had to get used to, even though I am part Dutch, but I'm like, I have a lot of Surinamese and a lot of like Aruban culture still instilled in me. So that does differ me from a lot of Dutch people, of course. But it's like, you're also moving to their country. I'm moving to the Netherlands, which is like for Dutch people.
I'm so grateful you brought that up.
So it's like some people sometimes like they complain or like they feel very disappointed on how like they're not like comfortable with how like the Dutch people are and stuff, and which is like slightly understandable in some aspects, but something you do have to understand is like, hey, you're in their country, you're in our country.
Adapt a bit, like
it's not gonna be the same. Like imagine as an example, you would be like, oh, it's so different in Romania. Like no shit.
Yeah, you chose to be here.
Yeah, I could complain about being like, oh yeah, so the Netherlands is so different than Aruba. Yeah, Aruba there is sun all the time, beautiful crystal clear water, you know. The Netherlands is very different, but obviously it's a different country, so you do have to adapt, and you should
like make the minimal effort.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Talasso?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I think everybody has their own. Next one.
Okay. Wrap it up, guys.
Okay. Next one.
Why do we talk so much?
I don't know.
I think this is a confession. I decided to ghost my entire friend group because I was paying for everything.
Good job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Rich girl.
Okay, maybe
or
not
guy.
The fact that you ghosted everybody, because that's like not a really nice thing to do. Although we've all been there.
Yeah.
Also not nice to let your friends
But-
pay for everything.
I've also like been in this situation where like I didn't necessarily like pay.
You've lived so many lives.
Yeah. Are you sure you're only 20?
almost
have you been-
21?
How long have you been 20?
Yeah.
This is the second time we've talked about
Yeah.
Twilight.
Oh, this is the second time we're quoting the specific quote. Like I asked us at the same
How long
time.
have you
Yeah.
been 17? A while. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Because I've had a job since I was 17, like when I used to like go out with friends, I was not saying that I like had money all the time, but like because I had my own money pretty much, I was a little too like reckless and careless, which honestly I should have listened to my mom. My mom always told me to be careful, but I did not listen.
But you're also a teenager, so.
Exactly. But like I would like, pay for friends, pay for drinks, this and that, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay you back." Until this day I've not received a dime. And I regret it so much.
Maybe that's a cultural thing, because I always used to do that as well in Romania, but that's never happened to me.
That they don't pay you back?
Yeah.
Yeah. It could also be that the person, let me not finish that sentence.
Maybe it's just about personality or the way they
Yeah.
were brought up as well. But
Definitely. But
Yeah, I
if
was also the
if
one
you're
that-
paying for everything, then trust me, babe, still people are just using you for your money. And
Yeah,
that's the
no.
one thing that I can tell you. It's not saying I have money, not at all. But like, if people are using you just because you have financial stability and financial comfortability, then those
Yeah.
are not people you should be around with. If they're like, still paying you back and they're like enjoying and they're like putting in their effort and they're still telling you like, hey, like, no, send me a tiki, that's their tikis, then it's fine. But if they're like,
or you can take turns, like I pay once and then next time you pay.
Yeah,
That's
Stuff
how
like that.
it
I
should
love
be
that.
in my
Yeah,
I
opinion.
me
love
too.
that so much. I do that with most of my friends because
Yeah,
like I
me too.
hate going on the bill and being like, oh, you had half of my fries.
50 cents right there.
Yeah.
It's 50 cents.
You had a little bit more sauce. Like, I barely ate the sauce, so I won't.
Jesus.
I think it was
Yeah,
the first
I'm
episode
crazy.
of Going Dutch, or was it
Yeah.
International Groningen? I'm not entirely sure which one
They
of the
did
two.
talk about
They talked
tikis,
about
yeah.
tikis, and it was the funniest thing ever, honestly.
Yeah. Culture shock.
Yep.
Yep.
It's not a thing.
Culture shock.
Yeah, this is not a thing anywhere else.
Tikis, no.
Yeah, no. Or the culture like, oh, you ate half of my croissant.
Yeah, but that's insane.
Did you guys know that like when like last year, so like at the end of 2024, there was like a news article that came out that there were more than 1 million tiki cent that were under €1.
That is insane.
Yeah,
like,
that's
why would you
insane.
send a ticket for something?
Someone
that's-
needs to fact check this and make sure it's correct, but I'm pretty sure it was.
But I'm sure there's a lot.
But-
Maybe not
Yeah.
that number specifically,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there's a lot.
which is insane.
Which says a
If
lot.
I ever get a ticket for 50 cents, I'm blocking you.
Exactly. No,
Real.
that's
Real.
50 cents. You cannot
They
buy
are-
a bottle of water with 50 cents.
But
No,
okay.
Not
if-
anymore.
No.
To finalize this question, if these people are just using you for your money, if your friends
It's not a question. It was a confession.
well, it's a confession. Okay, well, maybe,
Good for you.
Good for you. If
Good
you
for you.
decided that you were tired and you were like, no, I'm not gonna confront, I'm not gonna talk about it. You're just tired. Good for you, girl. Stand on your ground. What is the saying?
53.
No, like what is the saying? Like stand on your ground or
Stand your ground.
Stand your
your
ground.
ground.
Yeah, thank you.
Put your foot down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With that being said,
I think
there-
we have one more,
We have
right?
one more.
Do we have one?
Do we
Oh,
have time for it though?
I can't read. I think we have
Okay,
time.
I'll go really quickly.
Do we have time?
Yeah, a bit.
Okay,
Great.
so
Thank you, production.
the next and final one. I flirted with my TA to get a better grade, and it worked.
I don't know
That's
where to put
insane.
my face.
Yeah,
That's insane.
What's a TA?
teacher's
assistant.
assistant.
Oh.
Somebody that, yeah.
My boyfriend will be a teacher's assistant soon.
Shout out to
To
boyfriend.
my boyfriend.
Shout out to boyfriend.
Shout out to boyfriend.
Because I don't want to say his name, so I'm just
Yeah,
like, shout
yeah.
out to boyfriend.
Shout out to boyfriend.
Okay, well, that's an interesting confession because what? You flirted
The
with...
shock factor on point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was the sound effect?
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
But that's a little crazy. But honestly, if it worked, good on you, girl. Or guy.
Yeah,
or
we're not
they,
gonna-
Or it. I don't know.
Them. Yeah.
Okay.
Good for you.
Person.
We're not gonna
Yeah.
judge. We're not judging
No.
here.
We're not here
As
to
long
judge.
As
as
we
you
said,
didn't...
judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
As long as you didn't cross the line, as long as you didn't do anything that could hurt your future, good girl, It's okay. Do a little
they
flirty.
just said flirting. That's not
Do a little
illegal.
flirty. Be like,
so.
hey, you look so pretty today. Give me a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
Good
all we can say
confession.
about that.
Yeah,
though.
That was a
thank
good
you.
confession.
That was
we
a
love
funny
that
one.
Yeah.
I would never dare to do that though. I'm so scared. I can't flirt. I literally, oh my God, I need to tell this really quickly before I wrap up. So I work at I'm fully gonna expose this person. There was an event that I worked at
Yeah.
a while ago. And there was this person, this colleague that I was working with, and it was super nice, super cool. But I could not tell if this man was straight or not. But he was being so nice to me, and I struggle so much with being like, is this person just being nice to me or is he flirting? And because I also just cannot flirt in general, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I literally go like that, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna walk away. So I'm horrible at flirting, so I could never flirt
Well, I'm
with
the
it.
complete opposite. I can always tell when someone's just being nice or flirting. And my friend
Okay,
back home
Sasha,
used to...
you need to come with me when these men approach me.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can always tell.
Great.
There's just
Perfect.
subtle things.
If you
Yeah.
guys need any help with flirting, Sasha,
Hit
DM
me
her.
up.
Sasha's the
€5
girl.
per night.
Wait, that sounded really weird. You charge a nightly
€5
rate?
per night. That's so
No, but the way she said it,
Oh,
per
yeah.
night,
Yeah.
what are you doing per night?
Well, people are gonna go out at night. They're not gonna start flirting with.
you don't
random.
know. You don't want to know what I meant. I'll tell you after.
No, you don't understand what he meant.
I know, but I.
With that being said, thank you guys so much for listening to our episode. It was so fun having
Yeah.
you here. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you had a little coffee, a little tea, a little
Well,
breakfast.
we brought the tea to you.
We hope
We
you have
brought
a
the tea
nice
to you.
weekday night.
Exactly. This
Whenever-
comes out
whenever
on
you're
this
watching
comes
this.
out on a Tuesday. So have a great rest of your week.
Have a great Tuesday.
Listen,
Tuesday.
follow us on Hans Mag.
Yeah.
I keep
Hansamag International.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Check out the other podcast.
Check out the
please.
TikTok as well.
On YouTube, Instagram,
The TikTok. Whoa, that was very.
The Spotify.
The Spotify, the YouTube, the Instagram, the TikTok.
Connect with all of us on
God.
LinkedIn. Follow Hans
Yes.
and Matt also on LinkedIn. And if
Oh.
there's anything else you guys want to say, send us a DM, send us an anonymous little
Anything. Yeah.
questionnaire, anything.
Yeah. Have a
Much love.
good
Bye,
night.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.